All right, I want to turn to the issue of Israel, as Amanda said. Important 2 days for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Washington. First meeting with the president behind closed door, then going up to Capitol Hill. Joining us right now, a man who's such a cogent voice on all things Middle East, the executive vice president of the Coalition for Jewish Values and a great friend of the show, Rabbi Yaakov Menken. Rabbi, good to have you on, sir.
Thanks for having me back.
All right. It's a rare moment when an Israeli prime minister makes 3 trips to Washington to meet 3 times with the president in about 6 months. We want a sign of how strong the relationship is since the Biden presidency ended. But your thoughts on what Netanyahu was able to accomplish or not accomplish here so far, and what he needs to succeed for the Israeli people?
I think just the fact that he showed up this 3rd time is a tremendous accomplishment in terms of what it's broadcasting to the world about the closeness of the U.S.-Israel relationship with Donald Trump back in office, with his friend Bibi Netanyahu. It's clearly a close personal friendship. Bibi Netanyahu showing his admiration, saying, look, I just sent a letter to the Nobel Peace Prize committee advocating for you, nominating you for the Donald Trump to receive the Peace Prize for the work that he did. I mean, that is just an amazing gesture. The fact that it's coming from Israel's prime minister really says it all.
Yeah.
Well, and Rabbi, what's so interesting about that letter is that if Israel is advocating for Donald Trump to get the Nobel Peace Prize, you consider all of the peripheral nations that are also experiencing peace and would likely support that effort as well.
Yeah.
It's all about the Abraham Accords. I mean, this is a real accomplishment. You know, it's very unfortunate. You can just see how politicized the Nobel Committee has become from the fact that Donald Trump didn't receive the prize already when he made the most outstanding move for peace in the past 30 years with the Abraham Accords when they were first announced. And, you know, look, I understand you don't give a Nobel Prize for it, but what the Americans just helped Israel do in Iran also advanced the cause of peace tremendously. We're going to feel the ramifications for decades of what these 2 men have done together.
Yeah, that's true. We're shaping an entire generation of history in the Middle East with this and around the world, really. I want to talk a little bit about what Israel needs to have the sort of peace of mind and security it hasn't had for the last couple of decades. Iran ending nuclear weapons, more partnerships with their Arab neighbors, and then the eradication of Hamas and Hezbollah. Tell us where we are in that process.
Well, you know, it's obvious that the administration knows which end is north, which, by the way, is sadly not in play on so many college campuses across the country. You see how bad the picture is when Israel is the side that is agreeing to every peace deal that's come along since the 1940s. The Arabs have rejected it. The Arabs are rejecting it again. And on the college campus, they say, oh, well, Israel clearly doesn't want peace. I mean, it's the insanity. You look at what Israel is accomplishing with Donald Trump. You know, what they need is a nullified threat from Iran, which they've now largely accomplished. They need the genocidal barbarians pushed away from their border. That's what's happening with Hamas being shoved away. You know, there's even a move from certain sheiks in Hebron to reject the Palestinian Authority and make an independent peace with the Israelis as an emirate of their own around the city of Hebron. Wow. That's a real move towards peace, because the kleptocracy that is the Palestinian Authority is still, you know, they're doing pay to slay. They may not support genocide directly like Hamas, but at least they're funding it. Well, that's going to stop under this emirate.
Wow.
Rabbi, when President Trump brokers peace for Israel, obviously the people of Israel in the homeland, they benefit from that. But I want to ask you about sentiment here stateside, because you have a lot of cultural Jews in this country who are not necessarily practicing, who didn't vote for Donald Trump. But do you think that they see, you know, their family members, their friends back in the homeland experiencing, benefiting from this peace, and maybe it's causing them to, you know, wiggle a little when it comes to their political preference?
It's certainly having an impact. The majority of America's Jews supported what Trump did in Iran. that's a big step forward. That's winning over the voters that he didn't carry. I mean, it's very unfortunate, as you're describing. There's a lot of Jews in this country who are progressives first and Jews second. Jewish is a matter of identity, an accident to birth, whereas progressivism is their ideology. Now we're seeing some of those people realize, which end the bacon is the wrong analogy, right, for Jewish community. Yeah. But they're kind of seeing which end is up.
It's turkey bacon.
Yeah.
And it's kosher.
No doubt about it.
Kosher bacon, that's right.
Rabbi, it's always a great honor. You're a voice of clarity and a voice of common sense in this era of such extraordinary
There was a radio host who said when he comes up to Baltimore, he has to take me out for crab cakes. And then he realized the mistake that he had made.
Whoops.
Yep. Well, have a great day. Thank you so much for this.
It's a great honor to have you on, sir. Thank you for joining us today. Your insights are always greatly appreciated.